Skull, wearing white with gold, officially weighing in at 159 and 1/2 pounds. His professional record.
Huge crowd in attendance. Many of them on their feet in anticipation for this much anticipated fight. According to ShowStats,
Canelo has been sure he's coming in for the win against Scull, but Scull is not easy work, and he's made that clear too.
With this Cuban style of boxing, what kind of fight are you expecting to this man, William Scull?
Oh, I expect the same. At the beginning, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but I'm different Canelo now, and he's gonna feel it Saturday. Believe me.
From the moment the fight was announced, Canelo has appeared completely focused, making one thing clear. He intends to punish William Scull. He didn't travel halfway across the world just to secure a narrow win. This isn't just another title defense for Canelo. It's his first fight outside North America and marks the beginning of a new 4-fight deal with a Saudi Arabian promotional brand.
Canelo fans, please pray for Canelo. He's about to fight William Scull in Saudi. Pray for Canelo, bro. Pray for Canelo, bro.
Bro, but don't you get it? Canelo will never lose because Turkey needs him to win.
Yeah, he's not gonna lose.
There's no way Turkey. There's no way Turkey gets his Crawford fight if Canelo loses. So that's not happening.
It's a deeper, darker.
In his latest verbal warning, Canelo didn't hold back his feelings about Scull. When Scull made a comment about enjoying a good meal on Saturday, Canelo quickly responded, "The only thing on his plate will be my right hand." This cold, confident threat isn't new for Canelo, but it always lands with impact. Every time he speaks, it feels like he's reminding both his opponent and the world that talking doesn't win fights. Fighting does. And that's where, according to Canelo, the truth will be revealed.
Canelo, can I get your remarks on Skull's comments that he said he's going to eat you in the ring on Saturday night?
I have my kids here. If no, I can say what he's gonna eat Saturday. But he's gonna eat punches. That's what he's gonna eat. That way he's gonna eat.
Canelo has been in the spotlight since his teenage years, taking on legends like Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Caleb Plant. He's fought across multiple weight classes, constantly challenging himself, and has made it clear that he wants to be remembered as one of the greats. Now he's chasing another major milestone, undisputed status once again. This fight against William Scull is an important step on that path. However, while Canelo's journey is filled with titles and big names, Scull enters the ring hungry and undefeated.
I'm taking nothing away from Scull. I see what could be a very handy, if not easy, win for Canelo.
Yeah, matches up to the minus 6,600 line according to Las Vegas.
Is that all it is? Minus 66?
Yeah, that's
wow.
it.
The Cuban fighter boasts a perfect 23-0 record with 9 knockouts. And he's coming off a win against Vladimir Shishkin that earned him the IBF title. The same IBF belt Canelo once held before vacating it to pursue other fights. That alone adds an extra layer of tension to this matchup. Scull isn't just defending his title. He's looking to defeat the man who relinquished it as if it didn't matter. For any fighter, that's extra motivation. And for someone like Scull, who's had to fight for everything he's achieved, it's even more personal.
I'm about to be a 2-time undisputed fighter, so that's all about.
You mentioned the Cuban style up there. What other challenges does Scull present to you?
Oh, he's a very skillful fighter. He's got a lot of talent. But I've been in with all kind of styles, so I can adapt myself to any fighter.
Scull doesn't carry himself like the typical flashy underdog. He's calm, almost cold when he speaks, focusing on strategy rather than emotions. He's uninterested in taunts or hype. "I fled Cuba, crossed borders, and now I'm here to win," he said, summing up his journey in one sentence. He understands the significance of this fight. He's not just here to make a good showing. He's here to win, and he believes he can. While the media might focus on Canelo and the fans might cheer for the Mexican superstar, Scull has nothing to lose, and fighters like that are always dangerous.
Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, you've been a part of 66 professional fights. Does number 67 this week feel a little bit different?
Feels the same for me. I love boxing, I enjoy boxing, and for me it's the same. I'm very excited to be here in Riyadh. That's the only change. It's one of my dreams, fighting in another country. Now I'm about to do it. I'm excited. It's the same for me. It's the same, excited, motivated, I'm ready.
Still, not everyone is convinced that Scull has what it takes. Nigel Benn recently shared a harsh story about Scull's sparring session with his son, Conor Benn. According to Nigel, Scull looked exhausted by the 4th round, started asking for breaks by the 5th, and didn't come out for the 8th. If true, such sparring rumors could raise concerns. Nigel recalled, he was sitting on the ring ropes because he was tired. Conor really put on him. He couldn't even come out for the 8th round. It's a brutal assessment, and definitely not the kind of talk you want circulating before facing one of the biggest names in the sport.
You know, Nigel's a religious man, so he's not really going to want to lie. But it's very hard to believe. Look at the size difference between Conor Benn and William Scull. Scull's absolutely huge compared to him. Second of all, Scull's probably in the hardest training camp of his life. He's training to fight Canelo. I doubt he's getting stopped by Conor Benn, who's way smaller than him. It's hard to believe.
But sparring is just sparring. It doesn't define the fight. Supporters of Scull will argue that everyone has off days in training, and what really matters is how you perform under the lights, with the gloves on and the world watching. There are also respected voices who believe Scull can do more than just survive. David Morrell, an unbeaten rising star, has been closely watching Scull's progress. He studied his amateur fights and believes the Cuban has a real shot. He's very strong, very dedicated, and disciplined, Morrell said. He added that if the judges are fair and do their job, Scull could pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year.
In fact, that round, I think 5, he was up, no, because Conor only has 40 seconds rest. And then what he was doing in between the middle of the rounds, he was sitting on the rope because he was tired. Then it came to round 5, 6, 7, started feeling the pace. This is William Scull, IBF champion.
Superstar.
Then
Morrell's comments hold weight because he's not just speaking as a fan. He's also a fighter preparing for his own battle against David Benavidez, a name frequently mentioned as a potential future opponent for Canelo. So, when someone like Morrell advises paying attention to Scull, it's worth taking seriously. Fighters can often see what casual fans overlook. They pick up on habits, movements, and strengths that don't always make it into highlight reels. And Morrell appears to be convinced that Scull is a legitimate threat in this fight.
Something's telling me that Canelo will stop William Scull. I think yes, Scull obviously beats Shishkin to win the vacant title last October, but I mean, I don't think he's great. The rest of his record is fairly padded, in my opinion. Yes, Canelo probably is at his best. We'll come to that next. But I still think he's got enough to maybe even stop Scull. So I'll go with Canelo. It'll be at second half of the fight stoppage for me. Around 8, 9, 10 is probably where
Adding even more intrigue to fight week is the looming presence of Terence Crawford. Canelo versus Scull isn't happening in a vacuum. Everyone knows that a win for Canelo would pave the way for a mega showdown with Crawford in September. This clash could determine the true undisputed king at super middleweight. Crawford, a master technician and undisputed champion at welterweight, will be stepping up to face the bigger Canelo. The matchup is already being teased by Turki Alalshik, who's been investing both money and ambition into Saudi boxing events.
all know that Canelo's getting ready to fight Terence Crawford around September. But he has William Scull in front of him, a guy who's hungry and has a really huge opportunity. Canelo Alvarez, kind of in a small decline. Not saying that he is. I love Canelo, my favorite boxer ever. But Canelo in these recent fights have made the fights a lot closer than they should be against his opponents. I'm expecting Canelo to get the win. I don't know if he's going to get a knockout or a decision, but I think the fight's going to be a lot closer than people may.
But what if Canelo doesn't get past Scull? That's where the stakes get even higher. There's a whole blooper being set up, titles on the line, money on the table, legacy-defining moments in the making, and Scull is the one standing in the way. He knows it. He knows he wasn't the first choice. Canelo could face Edgar Berlanga instead. But now that he's here, Scull seems determined to seize the spotlight by force.
You feel slighted?
I could have had the Scull fight. No, I had Scull my DM. Me and was talking. He was telling me send the contract. He made a video, send me the contract. I was gonna beat him. Like Scull was easy work. Now Canelo gotta come. He want that undisputed look. Now he's fighting Scull and me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's about this, bro. And if
even Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both Canelo and Crawford, weighed in. In a recent interview, he focused more on Crawford, praising his intelligence, speed, and underrated power. You need everything in the game: IQ, movement, power, speed. Crawford has it all, Khan said, pointing out that many overlook how hard Crawford can hit. While Khan's comments were more about looking ahead to a potential Canelo versus Crawford fight, they highlight something crucial. Canelo's power is feared, but Crawford's ring intelligence might be what ultimately wins him fights. All these predictions, all this talk, contribute to the charged atmosphere around this moment. On one side, you have Canelo, the seasoned superstar, battle-tested, sharp, and always dangerous. On the other, you have Scull, the quiet storm, a man who's been through real struggle, carrying that Cuban grit, and who's never tasted defeat. One man is fighting to protect a legacy, the other to build one. Yet, the ring doesn't care about the backstories. It doesn't care about headlines, sparring rumors, or future plans.
Fighter like me, I can adapt myself to any style. And this is not going to be the exception. But, you know, it's a champion, and I want to be undisputed again. And I think it's a good match for me right now.